Hello Reformers and welcome back to our companion challenge run. Now, this is going to be one of those times where I'm pretty happy with what I've done so far off screen. And that usually doesn't happen. That usually doesn't happen that often. I'm usually thinking to myself, oh, but I could have done this, and I could have done that, and I could have made this much difference, and so on and so forth. So usually I am just wanting to eke out as much value as possible from every single action I'm attempting to take in these kinds of challenges. And I haven't done many of these on screen for the channel. I haven't actually even done a companions only run by myself, but I've done other challenge runs, specifically speed, not dying, not using a particular weapon, not using particular. Well, I mean, we've seen that, not using particular units and so on and so forth. There's a whole bunch of different challenges you can do in Warband, and any sandbox really. You can basically just have at it. Skyrim also has a similar thing. Oblivion, Fallout, all these things have crazy amounts of challenges that you can do. Anyway, I have leveled up to 9, by the way. As you can see, we're now level 10. But yeah, there's a good reason for that as well. And that is, of course, I've just been fighting Sea Raiders. I've just been fighting Sea Raiders. I have not had too many of our companions level up. It is going to take them quite a bit of time. Oh, look at that. There we go. Nizar, just speaking about taking a bit of time. He's apparently doing perfectly fine. Anyway, we did finally get Ymira to the next level. And I'm really, really happy about this, because she's probably going to be the one that is going to be the worst off for the most part, because she is... Whoopsie. Okay, I do not want to get killed here, thanks very much. Now, I have decided that permadeath's not going to be a thing. Well, have I? I don't know. It seems like the general consensus at the very least is that permadeath is probably not a good thing to go for, but I'm kind of thinking if I do lose, and because we have such a small amount of people in the army, that it's going to result in us basically losing anyway. It's, basically getting taken prisoner and all that wonderful, wonderful stuff. Yes, isn't it great? Anyway, point is, permadeath, yes, no, maybe it will happen, I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm going to be taking a couple of these shields. I should have made some space, I should have sold at the nearby marketplace before actually heading into the Sea Raider landing, but I thought to myself, no, I've got enough space. No, I did not. Great. Oh well, never mind. Let's just get those pieces of gear, I guess, and then we'll leave. Now, I have taken a task from... Where did he go? Where did he go? He was in the castle here up until literally when I had started the episode. So he must have left in between me leaving from Riverchegg and then... he's a wily person, isn't he? Oh, well, never mind. I'm sure it will be fine. I'm sure we'll be able to catch him up at some point. So what I'm going to do here, I still have that great lance. I do want to give that to someone. Now, someone actually said that Bunduck has power draw. Unfortunately, I have taken a look, and he doesn't have power draw. I found this longbow on a Sea Raider party, and I thought, oh, okay, if he has 3 power draw, then might make sense to make him into some kind of horse archer, Because if he can't use his siege crossbow or anything on a mount, then obviously it's going to be pretty useful for us to go for that. I'm actually going to take some of this... wait a minute. Yeah, I'm going to take some of this dried meat, and we will... Yeah, I think we'll keep some... That's the thing. Right now I have basically the units that I want to be using for the remainder of the game. Bear in mind, according... this is the thing. I'm not entirely sure about this, because I've never really done a companions-only run before. I'm not sure on the sort of status of this particular avenue of attack. So, for example, I'm not used to sieges with these few units, and I'm thinking that I will not be able to even instigate or begin a siege with this few amount of units. So if that is indeed the case, what I will end up doing is I will basically just go and I will recruit just a bunch of recruits. That's it. I'll just get a whole bunch of volunteers and that will be it. And I will not use them. I will not use them. I'll just use them as a way to get into the actual siege. That's literally all I'm going to do with them. I'm not going to use them in battle. I'm not going to utilize them at all. I'm basically just going to make it so that we have a way of getting sieges activated. Because if obviously we are, not able to do that, then that kind of defeats the purpose of the challenge, doesn't it? But there is a way around it. We will just be using them. There we go. Fantastic. Look at that. We gained so much experience from that all of our well, not all of our companions, but they are gaining a pretty decent amount of experience. So I'm pretty happy with this. Now, the main reason why I wanted to do this, of course, was apart from the good amount of experience that we've gained, is, of course, to go to the Guildmaster, buy a Weavery and Dye Works, and we're still going to have a little bit of money left over as well, so that's obviously going to make a pretty big difference to us, because we can buy food if we need it, we can buy anything we need to, and we're going to be buying a Weavery and Dye Works here. It's going to give us 900, that's fantastic, and that's basically all we need. Technically, I could go for something a little bit more. I could, actually, Jeremus needs to wear this. There we go. That's good for him. He's using a Nordic thing. Oh, there we go. He might actually want to use 2 shields. And, I want to give him a horse. Does he have riding skill? Yes, he does. He has 2 riding skill. Fantastic. Alright, so here's the thing with Jeremus. What I want to do with Ymira and Jeremus, actually, is I want to get them to about 12 strength so that they can level up their power strike to a decent enough level so that they can actually do damage, and as a result gain more experience, because at the moment he's only at level 5. So if we level him up to 12 strength, that's only going to be another 4 points. Technically it will only be another 3 after this if I level up his strength once again. And along the way I'd like to be able to make them into somewhat good warriors, because obviously, we have the wound treatment and the first aid, and that's definitely something that we want to level up with these guys. But if they're unable to get any kills along the way, then it will just be useless. There's basically no point. So every single one of our companions here has to be good at fighting, and that's exactly what I'm going to try and do here. So I'm just going to try and get them the best stuff possible, basically. And Shavi is going to be a bit of a problem, I think. I'm not sure. Does she have? No, she does not have 3 in power draw for some reason. I don't know why that is. I was hopeful that she might, but she did level up, so she can now get 3 in power draw. So why not? Let's just do that. Gonna give her some more in one-handed, because I don't think she's going to be utilizing her one-handed that much. And so it would probably be better for me to give her proficiency in that way. And then we will give her this longbow. She's already using arrows and a chipped Saranid sword. She needs a better one-handed, of course, but at the moment I don't think she needs anything else. She's got a pretty decent helm as well. Clethy also advanced in level, pretty amazing. Okay, let's continue to level up her power strike as well. We are going to need to get her some weapon master as well pretty soonish. But anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so we've leveled up twice. That's pretty good. And I have no idea what to spec into, because we have prisoner management. We have about 10 prisoners possible for us to take, which is pretty good, I suppose. But what I want to do is, again, I just want to be the best warrior that we can be, because leadership is not necessary. Engineering and first aid, wound treatment, etc. are all going to be done by our companions. Same with pathfinding. Deshavi is going to be our pathfinder, I think. And then otherwise, well, what else? I mean, looting? Not really necessary. Athletics, power draw might be necessary as well, but I'm actually just going to continue leveling up our strength, and we'll see how that goes. But personally, I feel like it's going to go quite nicely, because the easier that we can kill enemy units, and the simpler that we make that, then the easier it's going to be for us as a whole. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to fight these Sea Raiders. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to really level as many of them up as I would have liked to in my off-screen time, because that's the thing. I originally wanted to go and get a Weavery and Dye Works, and I just about made enough money when I was doing off-screen work, and then I thought, oh, well, I'd actually kind of like to record this, I'd like to record this and actually show on screen us getting the Weavery and Dye Works, completing the task for for Boya Moriga and, you know, all that stuff, because that's actually kind of important for this challenge, you know, getting the whole overview of it, you know, letting you see exactly what's going on. And if I did that all off screen, it would kind of defeat the purpose of, well, the whole thing anyway. But the point is, I'm hopeful that we will be able to maybe gain a little bit of extra experience by attacking here as well, but the problem is, what I'm finding so far is that my companions are not especially good at dealing with many units at once. And yes, okay, I understand, you know, they're AI, you know, they're not going to be amazing at, you know, multitasking or whatever, because they usually are going to be, as you can see right there, just ganged up on. You know, they're just going to continually get ganged up on. And that's a bit of a pickle, because we obviously want them to get as much experience as possible, but if they're unable to get any kills, then that's obviously a big problem. And I'm not entirely sure how to fix that without downgrading my enemies, basically. So the only thing that I can really do is probably go down to Saranid lands and probably deal with Saranid bandits and desert bandits instead, because those guys, they're pretty, you know, they're kind of easier because they have lighter armor. They do have horses, obviously. We know they have horses, but they're not really going to affect us that much, in my opinion. So maybe it would be a better idea for me to head down there instead. Anyway, who needs some... Katrine. Katrine needs some better armor. Let's give her that. There we go. Fantastic. Oh, what? She's wearing the worst helm ever. Okay, there we go. That's much better for her. Phew. I was a bit worried there for a second. She's actually got a sumpter horse as well. I actually need to give Jeremus a horse. And it might make sense to give Deshavi a horse as well, but she has no horse archery, so it's basically pointless. I'm actually thinking, wait, maybe we should just... I don't know. I think having some ranged companions is a good idea. I think that's a good idea. She is also a Pathfinder, as you can see, so that's pretty good too. But having some ranged companions is probably going to help us out in the long run, because if we only have recruits in a siege, for example, then the only ranged capability we have is literally through Bunduck and through Deshavi. Now, I know there are a couple of other companions that we will potentially be able to gain. Oh yeah, I'm actually forgetting about someone as well. You may have noticed that we actually only have 7 companions, 8 including me, of course. But we're missing one person. We are missing Marnid. Yes, Marnid is not here, and I've actually forgotten him. So he is going to be livid. He's going to be so annoyed with me right now. Oh well. Can't really do much about that. Sorry, Marnid. Sorry. Yes, he hasn't returned from his mission to spread the word about how amazing we are, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, that is a bit of an issue. Anyway, point is, there are other companions on the map. And, well, I was thinking of recruiting them as well, and just dealing with the complaints. But the problem with that is that then they can leave at any time. And if I start kitting them out, and I start giving them extremely good gear in almost every way, then it's going to be one of those things where we're just about to go into a pretty important fight, whether that be against a vassal or someone, and then out of nowhere one of our strongest companions leaves. I don't know who it would be, maybe Lezelit, maybe Rolf, you know, one of the other guys. Maybe they're going to be really, really good for us. And then they leave, and then they make us lose a huge amount of whatever they give us, you know, whether that be sheer fighting power, combat strength, whatever, or just some kind of passive skills. And I'm actually going to try something a little bit different this time around. Because Jeremus doesn't have a horse, which I actually need to remedy relatively fast, because he's now tagged as cavalry. I actually thought that I'd go into Rivercheck, but I moved away because I got sidetracked talking about Marnid. Isn't that fantastic? Marnid! Oh, I'm shaking my fist at him right now. Oh well, never mind. That's pretty bad. Oh yeah, what's also pretty bad is that Ymira is not wearing a helm. Great. I'm good at this. Don't worry. I am a professional. Yeah, not really. Not really. Anyway, the point is, we need to give Ymira a helm. It's good that I've actually seen that. We also need to give these two much better armor. Who's this? Clethy. We need to give Clethy better armor as well. So hopefully from these Sea Raiders right here, we will be able to do something about that. So I'm actually going to tell my people to charge in. We're going to tell my one infantry, whoever that is, to charge in. Hopefully we will be able to do something here. Going to try and use my Bardiche a little bit more, because that's going to be easier for me. Oh, Ymira, nice! She actually knocked someone unconscious. Great! That's fantastic. That's exactly what we need, and we need them to all kind of scatter them, shall we say. We need them to scatter as much as possible, because them scattering makes all the difference in how effective our units are, and this is obviously good practice for when we are dealing with vassals, because vassal battles are going to be difficult. I think they might be difficult. It really depends. Like, if we're up against... if we're up against Swadians, I think we might have some difficulties with dealing with them. But if we're up against... I'm not saying they're easier, but if we're up against, you know, Vaegirs or maybe Kurgits or something like that, then I think we might be okay. Because most of my people are going to be made into heavy cavalry of some kind, and as you can see, they're actually doing pretty well now against Sea Raiders, because we utilized a couple more tactics. Instead of just running straight on into them, we decided to get some tactics and strategy going. So that's pretty good, because as you can see, we actually only lost Jeremus because he was our sacrificial lamb. My apologies, Jeremus. Anyway, this is actually going to be army? I was going to say army. Armor for... what's the name? No, I'm just kidding. Ymira and Clethy are going to be getting that, and also Nordic Helm. Nice. Okay, that's pretty good. What about shields? We might as well give a couple more shields to our people. And oh, look at this. Bunduk likes Katrine. Oh, Katrine's not bad in a scrap, is she, for a woman of her years? Although I'm getting to be a bit of an old dog myself now. It just goes to show that youth ain't everything, that experience also wins battles. I reckon she and I could teach the young puppies of the world a thing or two, couldn't we? Very good. Yes, I like it. I like it. I haven't actually seen these interactions ever before either, because as I've said, never really had companions that get on with each other as well as these guys do, so that's pretty nice. Anyway, seems like I can't actually give Nizar any kind of level up whatsoever unless I want to spec him into power draw, which I don't really. So I suppose what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to save this point, and I might spec it... no, I don't want to spec... See, that's the thing. I don't want to spec him into engineering. I think that is an absolutely huge waste. So we're just going to leave that skill point there, and then we'll level it up at another point, and we'll see what he can do with that. I'm going to level up Ymira's Power Strike once again. She was actually able to get a kill pretty quickly this time around, so her being able to do more is exactly what we want. Let's give her this Nordic helmet, give her this, there we go. And she's using cracked Nordic shield, so let's just give her 3 shields. 3 shields, yeah. There we go. Next thing you know, she's going to be taking a shield and bashing someone over the head with it once her... Well, actually, her mace is not going to get destroyed at all, but you get my meaning. Anyway, pretty good. And Nizar, obviously, is absolutely fine. Okay, so yeah, we're going to need to give Jeremus something, and Nizar is still cavalry. Okay, well, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, so we're going to head over to Curor, I believe. And we'll see what we can do there, because what I want to do is get attacked by bandits. Yes, I love being attacked by bandits, and just bear in mind, we have not died yet. We have not died yet. I have gotten close, but not that close. I mean, you know, it is relatively... Well, I'm not going to say easy in the early game, but it is, you know, the enemies are not going to have those insta-death kind of attacks that we are going to face later on in the game. Like, for example, Rodok Sharpshooters, Vaegir Marksmen, Swadian Knights, potentially, with their lances and things like that. But anyway, let's get a horse, not armor, thank you. And, oh... Guess I'll get a heavy saddle horse. Not a big fan of that. I'm actually going to keep this. Yeah, I'm going to keep that helm. Going to keep that shield. Keep this. Sell these things because Marnid is going to come back relatively soon. And it would make sense to give him some kind of upgrade almost immediately upon him returning, because otherwise he's going to get cranky. You know, he's going to get cranky and he's going to be like, oh, I've been away doing all this wonderful stuff for you and you forgot about me. Yeah, he's gonna say that. Don't worry. He is going to say that. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy with what we've done here so far. And yeah, we have mercenaries. Now, I could technically use mercenaries. I don't particularly want to do that specifically, not for any particular reason, but just because I feel like I don't want to use any unit but just recruits. Because that would, as I say, enable us to get into the siege, but it wouldn't actually contribute anything to our being able to complete it. So technically the challenge would still be active at that point. Okay, so I'm going to improve my strength and my power strike once more, and we're going to go for some one-handed, a little bit of pole arms, not really necessary. And oh yeah, I have actually been told by my companions a numerous amount of times now that if I were a male character, I would have already been offered a fief from some faction or another, but because we are playing as a female character, that has been excluded because of the whole, you know, the whole discrimination thing. So that obviously is pretty harsh and something that I'm kind of annoyed about, but I actually don't care. I actually don't care because all those guys, they're soft. They're soft like tissue paper, and we are a beast. With all of our companions, we are going to turn into an absolutely monstrous force that are going to be able to beat basically anyone. Now, technically what I could do here is I could actually join this tournament, but I don't really want to. I don't really want to. So basically what I could do, I could actually speak to... Should I speak to King Yaroghlek and see whether he'll take us on as a... Oh, wow. He actually likes us quite a bit. You seem to have the makings of a good war leader. For a woman to show such skill is an uncommon thing in Calradia, but not completely without precedent. Noble women have often taken command of armies after their husbands or fathers were slain or captured, for example. Aha. Right. Yeah, so there you go. As much as I regret it, I cannot afford to grant you a fief. So basically, the only way we will be able to become a vassal, quote-unquote, is for us to marry one of the lords, which is what I've done in one of my other series. So, I could actually say I would be willing to fight for you even without the fief, but I personally don't really care about it. I just wanted to inquire, just to see what was going on. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to head down to Saranid territory, and we'll fight some desert bandits and things like that. And I'm actually wondering what we should do, to be honest, because well, we're not at war against anyone, that's obvious, but I think what I would like to do is maybe join up as a mercenary and then see what we could do from that. But we are going to need to level up our forces a little bit more, so I'm going to need to do some off-screen work after this episode has concluded, I suppose. But anyway, going to go down to Saranid Lands and we'll try and fight some desert bandits, maybe some larger parties, maybe like 30 or so. Alright, so we are in a battle against some desert bandits right here. There's only 5 of them. I was actually hoping that I would be able to find someone a bit larger, but it's okay, because that it means that we can, you know, size them up a little bit. We can see how strong these desert bandits actually are. And as you can see, Ymir is actually doing a pretty good job of dealing with them, as well as Jeremus. Very nice indeed. And I think what I'm actually going to do is... going forward, I'm going to be giving every single one of our companions a lance of some kind, whether that be a light lance or an actual proper lance. Because if we're able to do that, that means that we will have the ability to basically instantly kill any unit that they run into. And I'm talking about Swadian Knights. I'm talking about... you know, Swadian... yeah, why am I on about the Swadians? I don't know. Anyway, Nord Huskars, for example, Vaegir Marksmen, any of these high-tier units that are going to be kind of difficult for us to deal with. We want to be able to deal with them as quickly as possible and be able to take them out as fast as possible. And that means... if we can do that, if we can, you know, find some lances, I'm actually thinking that we might try and find some light lances down here, because I believe the... yeah, there's a lance. Look at that. That's great. Let me take one of those, because I think the Saranids actually tend to use light lances quite a bit down here, because the desert bandits that I've seen in the past have been using a lot of lances too, so it might make sense for us to do that, and that would be pretty cool. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. I hope you are very much enjoying the challenge run so far. If you have any suggestions about what you'd like to see us do, then by all means let me know. Otherwise, I will just do my own thing, and we'll see where it leads. I am thinking that what we're probably going to do relatively soon is, I'm not entirely sure about this, but maybe create our own faction. I don't know. I think that's probably going to be a bit of a death sentence, because let's face it, we're probably going to get declared war against so incredibly quickly that maybe it would be a better idea to become a vassal first and then see what happens. Or what I could do is become a mercenary, but becoming a mercenary does have its problems. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching and for joining me, and I will see you next time.